Chosen ones, welcome back to the Cambole Pensée channel. Where we talk about awesome things literally all the time. And I'm so pleased you're here. We're gonna go over the message today. Your girl passed out watching the Yankees last night, but that's what we're gonna talk about. And so get coffee, get whatever it is you need to relax, have a good time, and to treat yourself. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Little bit, you know. No need to go crazy with it, but treat yourself just a little bit. Just a little bit. And the message for today's channel video is basically to never be intimidated. I haven't figured out the title yet. Doesn't matter. But we're just getting the vibes, and we're just getting the feeling and the good energy. And we're putting it in a video because I feel good. And I got sleep. I actually got sleep. And I didn't get anything done with my day. But I'm glad that I got sleep. And we're doing this YouTube video. So, and sometimes it just feels good to wake up at like 2 or 3. You know? 3:16 to be exact. Sometimes it feels good. You're like, damn, I needed that. I was really inspired by... it makes me feel like a rock star, like waking up that late and being like, and then I'm like, I'm cool. But we're gonna go through the highlights because that was the shit. I was really inspired by Fernando Tatis Jr.'s slide catch, because it's like, I don't know. I guess it really looked like we had that. Oh yeah, like I can't remember who. I think it was Aaron Judge, his hit that Fernando Tatis Jr. number 23 did that like slide catch. But I was like really inspired because like the like, let me ask you a question. If you watch the games and stuff, and if you like follow sports, and if you're into all this, then you're probably still listening and you're still here and interested in what I'm about to ask you. But did it look at all like Fernando Tatis Jr. was intimidated or nervous? Or like in any kind of way doubting that he was going to get that ball? Did it look like he had that on his face or on his body language at all? Like that's what I thought. I'm so inspired by athletes in sports, because you really you have to walk it like you talk it. And all these athletes, again, last night was another fantastic example of not being intimidated by other good opponents and their skill level, and keeping up the hope. Because I don't know if you noticed, but like Bellinger. So we'll get into the highlights and stuff. But like it was kind of a dead game a little bit. Like everyone's like energy was kind of low, right? Like did you also sense that? But once Bellinger got that game tying home run, so. Jackson Merrill totally like set the Jackson Merrill has been like kicking ass, so apparently. And yeah, he's hitting 400, 18 for 45 with 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. I'm still learning what these all mean, and a 1.173 OPS in 12 games this season. So Jackson Merrill was going to be the guy, I think, all along to like start the game off with like that intensity, because like look at his stats, right? And then I think the energy was kind of getting down, and we were kind of thrown off a little bit by everyone's. I guess it was a little bit of an unexpected shift to not see Judge on his A game, and so and it's not like we like put the entire team on his shoulders, but it does affect like the energy when there's like a big shift like that that's not expected from a key player. And one of the coaches I was watching, was I watching the pregame last night? I caught the pregame, bro, because I was able to stay up for that, but I passed out like an old lady. I knew it was over once I had to move the laptop to the bedroom. I knew it was over. I was like trying to stay up. I was like, passed out. I woke up at 1:23, and then I was like, fuck, like, who won? And I was like, and then I looked up the score later, but, and so then, Jackson Merrill's, like, legitimate, like, awesome, like, I didn't realize there was so much physics in baseball, but I have always loved baseball. And when I actually learned how to play, like, as a player, and like I fell in love with it even more as a coach when I was coaching in Brooklyn and we would play. I would get so into it, and it's so much fun to slide, and the focus it takes to bat, and and like in the form, like I remember like the other coach taught me specifically how to hit a baseball like with precision when you're up for bat. And I totally like I'm falling even more in love with baseball now, because it has so much to do with staying hopeful in life. Like that's what sports means to me. It's because like you can get down on yourself in one game, but it's the mentality and the mental strength to continue. Okay, I'm still a boss player. I'm gonna get what I need for my team, and that translates to life so well, which is why I've always loved sports. And man, so Jackson Merrill's like his launch angle was 28 degrees. His height was 88 feet. His distance, get a load of this, 417 feet. And then get a load of this. He had the highest exit velocity out of anybody else for this game. Was 107.5 was his exit velocity. And then, yeah. So then that was kind of everybody was recalibrating, and okay, now we're down. Yankees were down one, and then that was kind of a little tense, right? But then Bellinger, I just feel like I wanted to talk about how inspirational I feel like that was with his first home tying HR. I feel like that was the other thing I was gonna ask you. Was like, okay, do you think that happened without him being like, this is gonna happen? Like, do you think that he was like, oh, coincidence, like, quinkadink, like, just hit it at the right spot? It's like all of this success that came from every single game, from every single play, it comes first within like the athlete's mind. And for Bellinger to take the initiative and get that first leg up right there with the San Diego Padres, man, like that was perfect. That got us just what we needed to get that foot in the door. And also, not to mention, Dylan Cease's pitching was superb. I wanted to bring him up as an example of excellence, because I'm not gonna hold it like bro is focused as like a bowl and like a one of those like old school like where they do like Matador, like he was just like so focused, like as if like, I mean, you could see like the excellence that he was imbuing, and just by being on the field. That's what like is so beautiful about an athlete, that excel, like, yeah, like that's the whole point of confidence and self-confidence, is to remind your other neighbors and your teammates how healthy it is to believe in yourself, because it's reminding everybody else that they have that ability as well to self-actualize and achieve their goals. And Dylan Cease was so good. I don't know if you could like tell, but like when you like watch and like read his face and like facial expressions, it's like he was really able to zone out the entire world right before he pitched, basically every time. And it's like up until the point, and then we do have highlights later on where it mentions he ends up leaving the field after that injury. He had like that one hand, you could see it kind of, he shook it afterwards, so it's something, maybe a tendon, something was agitated after that last pitch. And so he that's also another really good example of excusing yourself when you know your body's at your limit. And so Dylan Cease is a great example of both of those. Man, I was really inspired. He didn't it didn't seem like he like let the pressure get to him. He was really holding it very well on his shoulders. Um, let's see. And then there was another. I think Jackson Merrill made a go-ahead single. After yeah. So then there's that. The next Merrill Jackson Merrill's single, go-ahead single, and so then that kind of got like everybody like all like, okay, like this is a game now, like they came to play, like okay, like we have a little bit more to go, and what else is gonna happen, who's gonna step up to the plate, we don't quite know. Jackson Merrill and Jackson Merrill, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Dylan Cease were problems for sure. Like if you kind of like watch the highlights too, it's basically just Dylan Cease being like, pitching and being a badass and shit. And I think it's like it was just kind of funny. He's like, okay, like no one's able to get a ball into the outfield if I continue, if I'm the one pitching, and even if they do happen to get a good hit on one of these pitches, then I got Fernando Tatis Jr. out in outfield who's ready to catch it like an acrobat, like no problem. So it's kind of funny that they came stacked, dude. They had an insanely good pitcher. That was so inspirational. Like Dylan Cease really embodied excellence. And I'm also like really like proud to see like an athlete know when their limit is at their limit, because you could see also the fatigue on his face like after pitching, because like, imagine how much mental fortitude it takes to pitch. Like, and they were using him. He was the, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was very impressed that we battled, man, because they came to play with stacked athletes. Jackson Merrill, like look at those stats. That's not messing around. 418 for 45 with 4 HRs, 12 RBIs, and a 1.173 OPS in 12 games this season. And so then they have really good, like amazing defense with Fernando Tatis Jr. like catching everything that just like needed to be caught, and like no fear at all, and like not intimidated at all by like really good like I think that was Aaron Judge's like one, like I think he got one, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. like just like stole it as soon as it looked like it might be something. So it's like they came stacked, and then they had a really good pitcher, and then they also had a really amazing offense with Jackson Merrill. So that's why it meant so much when our very own Trent Grisham came along. Wait. Before that, we had Xander Bogaerts' sac fly, which Bellinger caught. But that was another, okay, so then that was like another like point. I do believe sac fly. And then Xander Bogaerts. So it was a little bit of something to cause a little bit of fear, but not quite all the way. And then we had, this is what changed the game for the rest of everything else. This was so exciting. It's like, I don't know if you guys know, but Trent Grisham actually played for the San Diego Padres for 2020, from 2020 to 2023. And then he got picked over to go to the Yankees in the offseason, and then he beat them on the Yankees. So I don't know what the San Diego Padres did to Grisham for him to have revenge like that on them. But that was sick as fuck, dude. So his stats on that game-tying home run was launch angle 31 degrees, height 96 feet, distance 387 feet, and an exit velocity of 100.1. So Trent Grisham has had 10 HRs that in 31 games in this season, after hitting 9 home runs in 76 games last season. So talk about like somebody who really improved their own stats within the past couple of years, and talk about getting recognition at a time where it's so needed, and or when it's, when they talk about getting like such an important point from a player who may have not have been as central as other players in the most like recent seasons. So it's a good feeling. It's inspiring. It feels like the whole team is really stacked. It feels like the whole team is really training hard enough for these players that we may not have heard the name as much. Or like maybe that's just me speaking for myself, but like we can see in his stats too that he has improved like on the offense levels in the past couple of seasons, but like a massive improvement. And so for him to make the most important point out of the entire the game timing home run is absolutely superb and phenomenal. And then Devin Williams came in clutch with. It looked like I was trying to research, I'm trying to do a little bit of research, but also understanding that I'm green in this area with this type of this type of level of sport, I guess, and like talking about certain terms and names and players and stuff. Like it is new to me, but I understand that Devin Williams' last pitch was either like a cutter or a slider. And I understand the differences between like the cutter and the slider has to do with velocity, where a slider has more of like an apparent slide than a cutter, but it comes down to like the difference of velocity. But either way, it's what got us out of trouble, because that was the last pitch where that was it. That was the last pitch on our end, so they couldn't get any more, and that was either a cutter or a slider. So I'm think about how like hard it is to be like precise and full of good form at the end of like a really long game. Like think about like Devin Williams had to be like precise probably when his muscles were fatigued. And so I have a verse on never being intimidated, and how this sport and in this game and these players are examples of never letting anything intimidate them. Like they're always up for improving. Have you noticed that? Like that's why I love sports and athletes, like, and the whole psychology of health and fitness is to feel better, to live better, to really get every ounce you can out of this life. So by getting every ounce we can out of this life, that means that we're never succumbing to fear. And there are times, of course, where we will fear things because we're human. However, it's a reminder in the active word of God that we're brought here to trample like scorpions and snakes. So we're never meant to be fearful. We're not born with a spirit of fear, but with power, love, and self-love. We're not born with the spirit of fear, but with the self-control and love and authority, something like that. 2 Timothy 2:4. So we're not brought here to be in fear. We're brought here to be in our authority, and not with a spirit of fear, but with self-love, self-control. That's a really good verse. It's one of my favorite verses. So this is the other verse that I have. I'll put the description down. I'll put it in the Phillipians 1:28. Without being frightened in many ways by those who oppose you, this is a sign to them that they will be destroyed, but that you will be saved. So, if you hesitate for like a second, that could be the matter of whether or not you get safely in or out of a situation. Or we don't have to be like that extreme. Sorry. Whether you hesitate like on something, or you go through with it. It's like waffling. It's not in our. It's not supposed to be in our coded daily life. We're meant to be love, self-control, love. We're meant to be brought here with an authority where we have our self-control, gentleness, and we're meant to be leaders. So if we waffle over anything, that's not of the spirit of God. That would be the enemy trying to cause us fear, depression, anxiety, etc. Any of that feeling of icky, dread, procrastination, those are not of God. Those are not of God. And so, like, Fernando Tatis Jr., bro, he didn't hesitate at all. He just slid down, like, that perfect instinctive first move, second move he made, sliding down, being able to slide like that without any injury. That is also expertise and masterful. And I mean, they know what they're doing, but it's the gusto, the bravado that these players play with that I'm hoping to highlight and emphasize, that is so truly inspirational. Go Yankees, go Knicks. I love New York City, and I love my YouTube fam as well. I'll see you in the next one.